Hi everybody, my name is Adrian Sanders and I am talking to you today. I wanted to go over what is the 531 program. It's what I've been doing for a little while, and I will go into what it is and why I picked it. So it is a barbell strength program made by Jim Wendler. He's some strong guy, just kidding. He could squat like 1,000 pounds, but he made it to where he can get back to a decent level of strength without burning out. So it's kind of linear, but you go up monthly instead of weekly or every training session. The basic barbell movement, squat, deadlift, bench press, and like I said, it's a barbell strength program. I don't like using the word powerlifting because it uses powerlifting movements, but more people can use that, but whatever. So that's what it is, and I'm going to break down the program. It is percentage based, and it'll make more sense when I explain it. So let's go to the whiteboard. All right, hi, I'm back here at the whiteboard. Bear with me here because I have my tripod right in front of me. But, so, like I said, it's the four, he uses, Wendler that is, uses the four main barbell movements. So that's back squat, deadlift, bench press, overhead press. Now the way he writes it out, I think he starts Mondays with overhead press. I'm just gonna jump to the way I list it out. So I do back squat on Monday, because I have an Olympic lifter background, so I like to squat. Next day, bench press, give my legs a break. Next day, deadlift. Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So I could have taken Wednesday off. And then on Friday, which is today, I do overhead press. I could have taken Wednesday off, but I'm not too taxed here, and I kind of lose my mind just squatting once a week, even though everything else is once a week. But I do an extra back squat day, and I'll explain what this is. It's not really part of 531, but he has a ton of templates about how to add extra days, squat days, and I'll just explain what I do here. Anyway, one of the reasons I like 531 is because it and you could do this on any program, it really emphasizes the warm-up. So let's say you're doing squat and your warm-up, you're gonna start with this is the barbell, but you do the barbell for a couple sets of 5, whatever. Every day and every week, you have percentages that you're gonna use for a warm-up. So it's gonna be 40% for 5, 50%, and then last warm-up set is 60%, but you only do it for 3. When you have your deload week, you do this for 5, but I'll get there. Now, you have 4 weeks through this cycle. Week 1, 2, and then the 4th is a deload. The way you're gonna do this with the percentages, after your warm-ups, which are always the same, you're gonna do 65%. And now the first week, this is where the term 531 comes from. Your first week, your sets are gonna be sets of 5. I'm not gonna write the percentage sign anymore, but another set of 5, 75%. Now this last set, you have a range, and then based on your range, you're going to be able to kind of determine what your max would be. So, I know I've said 5, but you kind of have this. I think Wendler says you can do as many reps as possible. I've been using street parking, and they recommend cutting it off at 8. So the way I've been doing it is going from 5 to 8. And this way, I like this because you're not forced to get 8 and you have some wiggle room, right? So that's week 1. Week 2, I didn't plan all this layout, but bear with me. Week 2, now we're bumping up the percentage and we're lowering the reps. 70 for 3, 80 for 3, 90%, and now the range was 3 to 5, which is what I've done this week. And then the last heavy week of the 4-week cycle, now you're gonna go to 75%, and this is gonna be a little change up. You're doing 5 here, 3 at 85%, and now we have 95%. And this is your test your kind of true testing day for the month, you have the option of going from 1 to 3. Now there is a calculator after all this where you can determine what your next training max would be. But then for the deload week, you basically just, you take your warm-up sets and you just do sets of 5 cross, and that's it. So I should have mentioned first, you can see my max is up here, but what if you're kind of like, where do I start with this? I'm going to start with my 1 rep max. Wendler highly recommends against that. So let's say you have a, whatever, you have 100% max. He says for all this work, take 90% of that. So if you want to do some math, instead of starting with 300, you would start with 270. And why is that? He just wants you to take this as slowly as possible. So not only are you doing it monthly increases, you're also starting relatively light. So, you know, starting out, your percentages are not even your true percentages. They're more of like percentages of the lighter weight, which is hard only because you have to be patient. But he said he wanted to write something where he could repeat for as long as he wanted, and this is it. There's no nothing else changes for the main part of the lifts month to month. And that's what he wanted to go for, and it works for a decent amount of people. This is different from a typical linear progression where you go up every time, or maybe take a light day on a Wednesday, or then you start doing 90% or whatever. That's different, and I like both, but you know, for me, for time's sake and energy's sake, this is where the meat and potatoes is. You only kind of have one work set, you could say, but honestly, if you're doing reps at lighter percentages, you're still doing strength work. So just keep that in mind. I'm not gonna bash this or starting strength or something like a strong lifts. It all works, but I chose this for me. And I also do street parking, which I get brownie points for doing these all. So I'll explain more with you why here in a second, but that's the breakdown. You basically repeat this. After you get done with this, you base your new max on a calculator, and then it could, or not even that, if you succeed here, you get to add 10 pounds to the lower body lifts, 5 pounds to the upper body lifts, and then repeat it. And you just go over and over and over. There's some nuances once you start hitting a wall, but I just wanted to break down the basics. This is the simplest format, and there are accessories. And I forgot, I did mention I was going to break this down. There is, and I'm only gonna do this for one of his ideas. He has this concept called first set last, where after you get done, you do this for extra volume. You do the first set for an extra 3 to 5 sets of 5 to 8 reps. And I've been doing that on the Thursdays here because I can't stand just squatting once a week. Even though it works, I just like squatting multiple days a week. And so far so good. It's none of these weights, you know, are too taxing or it's horrible. So that's what I've been working with. So let me explain why I have been using this. All right, so why did I pick 531? The book, I recommend reading the book. I found it online, and one of the reasons why is because it resonated with me. Wendler he's still a lifter, but he was kind of beat up and he just wanted something simple to follow. I am in the same camp where I like to push it with a 3x5 or 5x5, but time constraints, I could make that work, but I just wanted to kind of put that off to the side for now, and I may come back to that later, but we'll see with modifications. The other is time. I have 2 kids now, and I train in the morning, so it takes a bit for me to warm up, and so that's the appeal of the top set. So I get my top set done. I don't have sets across. I miss the sets across, but it's still getting the job done. So I have to take my warm up seriously. After I'm done, I'm free to do You could add extra reps, like I said, the first set last, or or pull-ups if you wanted to do CrossFit for all my street parking people out there, mobility work. So it kind of frees you up. As long as the barbell moves are going up, that's your indicator of your strength gain, and then whatever you need, like if you need to stretch more, like me, or get some cardio in, you can add that in. So those are the appeals. Like I said, it may get back to a 3x5, but right now I'm using this to back burner my lifts, and I will also have to figure out how to add in the Olympic lifts. So that's it. That's what's been working for me. If you want to try it, give it a shot. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Next month, though, I'm going to be starting something new. I'm going to be doing Deadcember, which is you do deadlifts every day of the week. So I'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching. Bye.